Okay, Professor, I just want to continue this bottom line is, does issues really hamper people and does it percolate into voting? Because the kind of issues that we have seen, whether it is last 5 years or maybe, very specifically last 2.5 years, if you want to analyze with respect to Dr. Pramod Sawant or the BJP government, has the issues percolated or have people forgotten royally, whether it is maybe the fighting of Tokte or whether it is COVID, whether it is defection or all the other things that Goa has been witnessing to?
Yeah, so I think public have short memory, there is no doubt about it, but that memory remains in subconscious and that subconscious memory always comes out when the time is ripe and when it's actually important for people to prove their point of view. And I think that's exactly what we saw in this election. Now, if you're looking at whether the issues matter, the issues do matter. I mean, one has to really notice this, that the actual defections that happened during this entire government tenure were about 12 of them. And 9 of them have been shown, back home. The 9 of them have not got re-elected. So people are very open. They are looking around. They keep things in mind. And when the time is right, they really want to make a right choice and a proper decision. And that's exactly what has happened at this point in time.
Okay, Pramod, again, defection is one that, people have showed their outcome in terms of results. But however, with respect to other issues that Goa has seen, where you have taken over, you've seen for the last couple of years that, Goa has witnessed, especially with respect to the BJP government.
I think other issues got sidelined because the biggest question in front of Goan electorate this time was whether we want the kind of political class that we witnessed from 2017 to 2022. It includes the large-scale defections. It includes the kind of politics all of these leaders conducted. And that was the biggest thing. We can take care of our issues. We'll elect a government and we'll deal with the issues later. But do we want this kind of polity? And two factors, I think, one that is touched by Nilesh already, that 9 out of 12, the classic defectors lost. One of the 10th one struggled to win the election but somehow managed to. The 11th one managed to win the election because the opponent, the strongest opponent against that candidate was on a Trinamool Congress ticket. Probably only one out of these 12 won comfortably. So I think that says a lot about what people were thinking. Number two, almost 23 new legislators have been sent to the assembly this time. New in the sense, some might be ex-MLAs, but they were thrown out before, where they have been brought in, and there are many new faces, lot of new faces. So more than close to 60% of this assembly is a new assembly. So when we speak about how people have reacted to what happened between 17 to 22, I think this is a very glaring statistic that they more than 50 and close to 60% of the legislators are new. They have just refused the old lot. Probably local satraps like Montserrats and Ranes have managed to retain their seats and they have managed to win them. However, at a general scale, at a large scale, people have voted for change. Now, that change might not be a regime change. The change might not be a political party change. But the point that I was making all along during last 6 months, that people are looking at the change in political class and not necessarily a change in regime or a political party. And when you look at this data and when you look at the statistics, 23 out of 40 being the new legislators who are not a part of the last assembly, I think says a lot about replacement of that political class or a large chunk of that political class rather than a change which is limited to maybe a regime or a political party.